Man, I just want to say a huge thank you to Oklahoma City, the fans, everybody for the way that you guys welcomed me back with open arms after starting my first 2 years in the city. Um, to the team, to Sam Presti, Billy Donovan, the training staff, everybody, man, and coming there. Obviously, a lot of people try to count us out, counted me out, and all I can say is I'll never forget it. Never forget it. 15 years, I've had the opportunity to play on some amazing teams, but Sam, you were straightforward with me from day one. I don't know what the future holds, but what I can say is that this team, I think I made some connections and bonds with these guys that'll last a lifetime. 2010-11, I got a chance to play with a special team. Monty Williams was the head coach that year. And, you know, you play with some guys for 1 year, 2 years, you never know, and you make connections for a lifetime. So to Oklahoma City, I thank you guys. To Kobe, you behind the camera, Matt, everybody that made this experience what it was. I hate that it ended as early as it did, but Oklahoma City will always have a special place in my heart. Nothing like it. And as y'all know, go Thunder, Thunder up. Peace and respect.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Best Basketball. So, if you guys are curious, it looks like Chris Paul may be leaving the OKC Thunder. If you guys watched that last game against James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and the Rockets, man, that was a nail biter. The Thunder, they came back. They pushed for a game 7, and it went all the way to the last few seconds of the game. I know for me, I was hoping that the OKC Thunder would beat the Houston Rockets just because I was pushing for Chris Paul, man. I wanted him to get his redemption, man. And as crazy as it sounds, I know that he got traded from the team, but I still want him to get his redemption. Like, I wanted him to show the Rockets that you made the wrong move. I wanted him to show that he was built for this moment. And sometimes it just doesn't play out like that, man. But I know all of us love a good underdog story where you trade a whole bunch of your assets and you just kind of expect them to lose. But no, OKC shocked the world. They almost beat the Houston Rockets. And how crazy would that have been if Chris Paul just proved the world wrong, showed the fans from Houston that they made the wrong move, and he beat James Harden and the Russell Westbrook-led Rockets. But who knows, man. As you can see in this kind of clip here, it says like Chris Paul may be leaving. He doesn't know what the Thunder and the organization holds. Shout out to Sam Presti for being so transparent with Chris. I remember watching the game and he told him that he's not a half in, half out guy. He's either all in or you're all out. So they went with that squad of Dennis Schroeder, of Gallo, of Steven Adams, of Chris Paul, of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and they balled. Like, they straight up balled. So huge shout out to OKC, man. I remember they've had Westbrook for so many years. It's just Westbrook. After KD left, and then they had PG, they got kicked out by Dame, and this was like probably the most exciting like time for me watching OKC just because of that so great underdog story with Chris Paul against James Harden. But you gotta give a shout out to the Rockets too, because they also played their hearts out. James Harden didn't play so well offensively, but he had some clutch defensive plays at the end of the game. More specifically, where they threw the ball under his legs and it went out of bounds. That was all him, and he had another block that was clutch too. So, shout out James Harden. But I was really pulling for OKC to win that game. But I'm actually also very happy that they got that far. They shocked the world, and they just showed that they're not any scrubs. Chris Paul was saying that this group of guys, like his point guard squad, his whole team, he said they were dogs, and he knew that they would fight. And Chris Paul is, I feel like he gets a bad rap for being like kind of sneaky, dirty player, but I think he's probably one of the best leaders in the NBA because he just wants to win so bad. He has that Mamba mentality, similar to how Russell is, Kobe was, Kobe is, and all kind of like those dog players who are just want to win so bad, and you have so much respect for that. So interesting to see where Chris Paul will end up. I've been seeing kind of some articles going on saying, should the Phoenix Suns pursue a trade for Chris Paul? What do you guys think about that? I know Phoenix went undefeated in the bubble, and they opened a lot of eyes. They still got Ricky Rubio, don't forget that. So what do you think? Do you think Chris Paul going over to that team would help lead them to kind of like a new era of Phoenix Suns basketball? Similar to how like when he went over to the Clippers and he had like a young Blake Griffin and a young DeAndre Jordan, and he took those guys to the next level. Do you think CP coming over to the Suns, playing with D-Book, Aiden, Wave Poppy, aka Kelly Oubre, do you think those guys would thrive? I personally think they would. They would do well with that veteran leader, and I think they would come on similar to OKC, where they come on like as I believe a 6th seed. I'm not too sure actually, guys, or maybe even 5th seed. But yeah, they came on board and did well, shocked the world with the playoffs, and they have a whole bunch of draft assets too, you know. So we'll see what Phoenix chooses to do. But shout out to OKC for making that trade for Chris Paul. I think it'd be a good team, man. Honestly, I feel like they'd go to the playoffs. I see Chris Paul being a great fit with the team and teaching them how to be professionals, right? A lot of those cats are real young, man. Like, they just came into the league and they're probably playing like their hearts out. But I think seeing a professional and a vet like CP, like one of the best point guards ever to do it, like aka point guard, point general Chris Paul, I think that would be a great move for Phoenix. But we'll see what they do. Hopefully he stays with OKC. That's where I'm going. But if he goes to Phoenix, I think that'd be a great move for him. It's Arizona, so they have a great team there. Also, another trade or free agent signing I've been seeing is Knicks Tom Thibodeau connection to Chris Paul and Melo. So do you think Melo and CP would end up going to the Knicks, right? Chris Paul and the Big Apple leading that team of young cats. I think this is a bit more interesting because New York didn't do so well as Phoenix, and they have many assets. I think I said in my previous video, like they traded Porzingis, so like that was their superstar. I think that would be great. They still have Porzingis, but they don't. They just got RJ Barrett and Julius Randle, which are two great pieces. Like, people forget that Julius Randle is still like really young, and RJ Barrett, he's super young too. Like, they have great pieces there, and Melo played so well with the Blazers this year that of course a lot of teams are gonna give him the look. Like, that's how well he did. But I know for a fact, I know Melo wants to go back to Portland because he played so well there. He had a great time there, playing with Dame and CJ and probably Hassan and Nurkic. And I know CP, he played in OKC like during the whole Hurricane Katrina, and they needed a home. So Chris Paul has like a lot of love for OKC for them welcoming him. And this year too, just how well they played. So what do you guys think is going to happen? Comment below. Do you think CP is going to end up going to a new team? If so, would it be the Thunder? Would he stay there? Or would he end up going to the Suns or to New York? Let me know Appreciate you guys watching. Definitely subscribe, turn on notifications, leave a like, leave a comment. I'll be more than happy to answer. Thank you for checking out Best Basketball, and I'll catch y'all later. Have an amazing day, guys, and peace. Don't forget to leave a comment, y'all.